The odds of Luka Doncic ended up on the Dallas Mavericks is low-key kind of insane. I mean, I guess you could say that about anybody ending up anywhere, but there were so many dominoes that had to fall to get Luka in a Dallas Mavericks uniform. So, Mavericks fans, here's a list of people you should be thanking for Luka Doncic. First, of course, you got to start off with my Dukes and Pops, so shout out to Miriam and Sasha. You have to thank Mark Cuban in the front office of the Dallas Mavericks. You have to thank Travis Slank. I don't know if y'all remember, but Travis Slank was put in charge of the Atlanta Hawks, and he tried to build the Warriors 2.0 with Trae Young being his Steph Curry, Kevin Huerter being his Klay Thompson, and Omari Spellman being his Draymond Green. Look it up. That was his plan. He failed. But because he wanted to do that, he drafted Luka Doncic 3rd overall, then traded down to get Trae Young and an additional first-round pick that turned into Cam Reddish. But there's no man that deserves more praise. No man that you should be looking at more for getting Luka Doncic to the Dallas Mavericks than Alec Peters. Who? Yeah, let me explain. Alec Peters was a 6'9" power forward drafted out of Valparaiso back in 2017. Well, in his NBA career, he only played a total of 20 games. So how can this man, who played 20 games in his career, who averaged 4 points per game on 37% from the field, be credited with helping Luka Doncic end up on the Dallas Mavericks? Well, it's simple. April 10th, 2018, the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks are entering the last game of the NBA season. Now, both of these teams are absolutely awful. Both of them are tanking to get the 1st overall pick. So much so that they both ran out some ridiculous lineups. Let me read them to you. For the Suns, it was Shaq Harrison, Devon Reed, Dragan Bender, Daniel House Jr., and Alex Len. For the Mavericks, it was Aaron Harrison, Kyle Collinsworth, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jonathan Motley, and Dwight Powell. At this point, the Suns had pretty much secured the highest odds to get the 1st overall pick, but a team like the Dallas Mavericks was kind of in the mix of things, because the Dallas Mavericks, Atlanta Hawks, and Orlando Magic went into the last day of the season with identical records. The team that loses more likely than not walks away with the highest odds at the 1st overall pick. And you can tell that the Dallas Mavericks had no plan on winning this game. With 4:05 left in the 1st quarter, Alec Peters checks in for the first time of the game, and immediately he hits his first 3-point shot to tie the game 18-18. And then he continued to hit 3-pointer after 3-pointer after 3-pointer until he ended the night with 8 3-pointers made. This is a complete out-of-body experience that he ended up with 36 points. He hit 8 3-pointers in this game, and if you tally up every single 3-pointer he has made outside of this game in his NBA career, it is also 8. This man had half of his career 3-pointers in this one game and helped the Phoenix Suns win this meaningless game for them, but for the Mavericks, it was huge. Now the Mavericks and the Atlanta Hawks have the exact same record going into the lottery, but the Mavericks lost both games to Atlanta in the regular season, so they have a slight edge when it comes to the percentage. And if the Mavericks would have won that game, that would have had them as the 6th overall pick instead of the 5th overall pick. And as we know, Travis Slank had his eye only on Trae Young, so that trade would have potentially been done with the Orlando Magic instead of the Dallas Mavericks. But that's only if the Orlando Magic would have been interested, because before the draft, they had Trae Young really high on their big board. So a lot of things in history would have been different if Alec Peters then dropped 36 in game 82 back in 2018.